You know, it's like a catapult. You know how a catapult works? You have this catapult and you have a stone. You put the stone in one part of it and you pull it back. How much do you pull it back? A little bit. That stone will actually shoot out of there very, very far. So to me, Ramadan is like a catapult. You're actually pulling back and you throw. When you throw, it helps you for the other 11 months. By the time the stone lands, you are already in another month of Ramadan. You follow what I'm saying? This is spirituality. It's one way of looking at it. There are so many other ways. So it is so vigorous. It requires energy such that you've used it so powerfully in this month that the rest of the 11 months, you are just sailing, you are flying, you are cruising. And when by the time it comes to land, you have the stone again and you pull it back and you are again moving for the other 11 months. So the discipline that is achieved through the month of Ramadan is unique and amazing. Let me mention to you one thing. There are certain things that are haram to eat. Do you agree? Like for example, you have pork, you have alcohol, you have so many other things, that which is not slaughtered correctly and whatever else. So many things are prohibited. You're not allowed. Now look, for one whole month, from dawn to dusk, we stay away from that which is halal. Water is halal. I cannot have it in Ramadan during that time from dawn to dusk. Why? Discipline myself for the sake of Allah. Allah said don't have it. So if I manage to stay away from that which was halal for one whole month, then surely after that I can appreciate that which is halal by eating it and stay away from haram at least.
Allah gave you fasting so you can protect yourself. What does that mean? Let's try to understand what that means. Human beings, us, we have certain training. You have to go through training if you want to get good at something. Especially physical training. Like if they want to become a soldier or they want to become a police officer, and they have to go through certain kinds of training. And their body learns to adapt. Like at the beginning it's hard and then it gets easier and easier and easier for them, right? And this idea of training, putting yourself in difficulty, it helps you in by the way, when you're in training, things are easy. When you're in the training program, things are easy. Like for example, when they train firemen, they set up a fire to put it out, but they control the fire. It's not like a real fire in a building. It's controlled, so it's easier. They make you jump down a building, but it's easier. It's not like the real thing. They go easy on you, and then when you get good enough, then they put you in the real life situation. You understand that, right? Now the same thing happens with fasting. Fasting, you're constantly feeling something, aren't you? Constantly feeling thirst. You're constantly feeling hunger. There is not a minute that goes by that you're not feeling it. Your throat is fighting with you. Your lungs are fighting with you. Your throat is yelling at you and saying, give me water, give me water, give me water. Whether you like it or not, there's a war going on inside you when you're fasting. There's a war, physical war going on inside you. Your throat is against you. Your stomach is against you. Your body is getting weaker and begging you, please disobey Allah, please disobey Allah. And you stay the entire day fasting, fighting your body, and you say, no, my heart is submitted to Allah, and therefore I don't care if my entire body wants something, I will not give it to it. You train your heart to control your body. That's what you do when you fast. Why is that important? Because when the fasting is over, you have to continue to train now your heart is ready to control your body. So you're not just going to eat what you want. You're not just going to go where you want. You're not just going to look at what you want. Because all of those things your body wants. But who has gotten stronger when you fast? The body got weaker, and who got stronger? The heart got stronger. And where does taqwa rest? Inna dhalika min taqwa al-qulub. The heart is the place of taqwa. When you give your body the weakness and you give your heart the strength, you train yourself to stop yourself from other things. So my dear young brother, the young guys that are here, if you're fasting, staying at home and watching movies, you're not fasting. You're not fasting. Because your heart is still giving in to the wrong temptations. The entire exercise of fasting is you constantly remember, yeah, just like I'm fighting my stomach, just like I'm fighting my throat, I gotta fight my eyes. I gotta fight my mouth. I gotta fight my tongue. I gotta fight my desires. I gotta fight my hormones. I have a fight with everything now. The thing we see is the drinking and the eating. But everything else, fasting is your training for real life. And by the way, I told you when training goes on, then it's easier. Controlled fire, controlled situations. What does Allah do? Does Allah make fasting in Ramadan easier? Does He cage up shaitan? Does He put the shaitan away? He does, doesn't He? He's going easy on you. So your heart can get a chance to train and get better without being in the battlefield. The second Ramadan is over, Eid Mubarak, guess what? Shaitan is out. And the war begins. And all of that training will now come in handy. But if you didn't train yourself properly, look, just to help the younger guys here, this is for the younger guys especially. If a guy wants to join the army, he has to go through physical training. So they make the guy jump over a wall or climb a wall and go on the other side. So two guys join the military. One of them jumps over the wall, the other one goes around the wall. They both got to the other side. You have to do it 10 times. One guy jumps over it 10 times, the other guy walks over it 10 times. Right? Now when they're on the battlefield and they have to go over a wall, who's going to go and who's going to fail? You understand? They both can say, I did it, I made it to the finish line. Well, that's what you wanted, to reach the finish line. I did it. You will fast and your brother will fast, but your fasting will not be the same. It won't be the same. There's the guy who applied himself and actually trained himself, and the guy who didn't train himself, they're not going to get the same results.
أرشدنا كتاب الله دستوري وخير الخلق أسوتنا